When I'm standing in front of 80,000 people, I hold the disc up and I close my eyes, I'm actually just picturing being at home. My name's Matthew Denny. I'm an Olympic bronze medalist in Discus. Each Olympic phase that I've done has always looked different. This one was a little bit more turbulent just because I changed coaches halfway through. So I started with Dale and started 2023.
Matt was on the cusp of cracking through to the top tier, but hadn't. And I had a sense of probably why. To Matt's credit, he asked for that feedback and sought it, and I felt a duty to give it to him unvarnished, and he took it on the chin and said, all right, well, if you're serious about this, would you help me do it and make those changes and consolidate it? So the fact that Matt was receptive to that after he initially asked for the feedback was the green light for me to take up the challenge and help him out.
Like, we saw some really great success immediately, and then by the end of that year, Australian record and a couple more podiums in regards to Diamond Leagues and PBs and stuff like that, and then 2024 was even better. So I attribute this last 2 years to him and also Joshy Humphreys. He's been incredible as well, and as a triad in regards to how training works in that side of things, everything radiates out really well in our group. So
it's been a really interesting change and a massive growth point for Matt ever since he's been coached remotely. And it's also notable in the gym, his behaviours, his mannerisms, the way he goes about his sessions. So that's been really empowering to witness over the last couple of years.
We've actually found the overlap between Matt's kind of laconic country persona and brand and winning is really strong. It's not something we've had to force together. That Venn diagram sits pretty tightly.
Very proud of where I'm from. Obviously a very small town, and certain values come along with that.
You can see why he has such a connection to home and country, and he will often try and use that to his advantage at times.
When I'm standing in front of 80,000 people, I hold the disc up and I close my eyes, I'm actually just picturing being at home. And you go from 80,000 people to no one and a couple of cows and quiet country fields. So it brings the level of everything down a little bit, which is, it's good for disc.
It was the most amazing sporting moment that I've ever seen in terms of the Olympic record getting broken and then getting broken again, and the first athlete to throw over 70 at an Olympic final. It's like, what is going on here? Like, this is ridiculous. And when that last row was finished, and the realization that he'd finished on a podium and had an Olympic medal around his neck, was incredible. I was just over the moon to see the time, the effort, the work ethic that he'd brought for every single session to come to fruition. That's why we turn up to work every day, so we can give the athletes those moments to live their dreams, and to witness that and to be a part of the journey was just so special.
It was incredibly satisfying. For him to hit the lead and be in front at an Olympic final was enough for me to smash the fence pretty hard and break my finger. So that clearly means it was something that was pretty exciting at the time. Matt will concur, and I agree and see where he's coming from, that the overwhelming sentiment for him was probably a bit of disappointment coming off.
I was disappointed with not winning, and I knew I had the shape and the ability to throw further than 70. I don't let anyone tell me that I should be happy with it, because unfortunately I'm not, to an extent.
Our sport of athletics, and also particularly throws, is not something people do for fun, really. It gets more enjoyable and more rewarding the better you get at it. The fun of it is getting better. It's the agitation, it's the pursuit, the restlessness, and you only get a finite window where you've actually got the physiological capability to indulge that.
What's next? It's a pretty big year. Obviously we want to progress on last year, and my goal has always been, since I was a kid, to be the most dominant figure in men's disc, and it's a hard feat at the moment. Men's disc is in the best place it's ever been, so it's going to take world records and some of the best throws going around to do that. So
I think the common thread between Matt and I is that we both care, and then if you care about something, you find a way. There's no right or wrong way of interacting as a coach-athlete partnership, but we've found what works for us.
It's a really nice feeling when you have a lot of traction and you just feel like a freight train, because you just kind of feel pretty unstoppable.